Hello and welcome to another Yaldi Battle Apps hobby video. This one I am showcasing my fully painted Dark Angels army. I'm very proud of myself for this. This is over 6,000 points of Dark Angels. It's the first time I've ever owned a fully painted army in the sense that every model I own for my Dark Angels is painted. Huge majority of this has been done since coronavirus hit. I had a lot of free time, so done a lot of painting. I don't remember exactly where we got to the last time I did one of these hobbies update videos, so I'm basically going to go through the whole thing again, introduce the whole army, then talk a little bit about what I might get next for my Dark Angels, because I got a lot here. So thinking about what to get next is a bit tricky, really. So I've kind of split it into kind of 4 wings, as Dark Angels would call it. So now I used to call these the Pride of Caliban, a successor chapter. I mean, I still like to call them the Pride of Caliban, but I do always play them as pure Dark Angels. I don't play them as a successor chapter. And one thing that you might notice is I have transferred. I've done transfers on the entire army now, so you can see like my Ancient's got transfers on. This Dark Angel transfers on every single one. Focus, there we go. Or Raven Wing or Deathwing on the ones that need it. So I mean, I've clearly marked as Dark Angels now. I can't really play this army as anything else. I don't really want to. When I first started this project with Space Marines, I originally did this very sort of neutral color scheme of the black and the red. I thought, okay, I can play it as any chapter, but I don't actually want to play it as anything other than Dark Angels. I really like Dark Angels. I love the lore for them. I love how they play. I love the background and everything. And I've played them, I think, once as played them as salamanders before, I think, before I did all the transfers, and didn't like it. Just didn't feel right. They're Dark Angels. So I will only ever play these as Dark Angels now, I think. I'd have to retransfer the whole army if I want to play them as something else. I'm not going to do that. So yeah, I got what I think of my 4 wings. I've got what traditionally you might call the green wing, which is all the stuff in the middle, all the kind of standard Marines, and I'll go through everything in a moment. I've got what I call my Vanguard wing, and you'll see obviously why that is. You can see quickly brief look at all the models there, and I've obviously got my traditional Deathwing and my Raven Wing. So I'll go left to right, make it easier. I'll start with my Vanguard wing. So in my Vanguard wing, I've got my 3 characters. All characters always at the front of each of their wings. There's 2 characters there. In here I've got Brother Castiel. He's the only named character in the Vanguard wing. The other ones haven't seen any battle yet. And I've got my Master in Phobos armor and my Lieutenant in Phobos armor. I've got my piddly little scouts who look tiny compared to the ones. And I've got my 5 incursors, and I've got squad numbers on all of them. So these are squad number 5. My infiltrators. Oh, I'm missing an infiltrator. I'll have to find him. I've got my eliminators. I've got my 10 strong Reaver squad. They're new. They're definitely new from last time I did this. So these two are definitely new as well. And I've got 2 Invictus Tactical Warsuits as well, labelled 1 and 2. And that's my Vanguard wings. So they're quite small, but I would like to, at some point I'm going to do a battle where I'm essentially just using these Vanguard forces. I think it'd be really interesting, because if I played with just these models here, I don't know how many points it is, but not a single one of them has to deploy in the deployment zone. And that could be quite interesting, that you could just deploy anywhere and it could really mess with the opponent a little bit. They would struggle against armor. They only really got these that can deal with any armor, and possibly the Invictus Tactical Warsuits in combat, but they could be quite interesting. Then the larger section is my green wing. So starting with the characters. So the new ones, I've obviously got I bought the odometer sets. I've got a Judicar, whatever it's called, Judicar. I've got Chaplain, so Primaris Chaplain, which I'm quite pleased to have Primaris one of those. 2 lieutenants from Dark Imperium set. The Master and Garrus armor. A piddly Apothecary that I found in a box somewhere. But Apothecary is amazing now when you upgrade them. I've forgotten what the upgrade's called now, but they are awesome. So he's going to get some action. And I've got my Ancient, who I finally managed to paint. I've owned him, obviously, he's in the Dark Imperium Ancient. He's one of the last models I ended up painting. And he's got his transfers on there as well. So, and I've got my Intercessor squads, and again, they're all numbered. Dark Angels have their squad numbers on the Pauldron. They do also have the company, should be on the knee pad, but I don't really be bothered about painting knee pads differently, so I haven't. So that's one thing that deviates from traditional Dark Angel iconography. But I've got my Intercessor Squad, another Intercessor Squad there, 2 Assault Intercessor Squads. So these are sit-put units. One is number 1, one is number 5. My Hellblasters, my Eradicators, my Aggressors, my 2 Dreadnoughts. I've got Honored Brother Zoriel. Yep, I think in my last video I did actually give him a name. It's Astrael, I think he's called. I need to label his base. And I've got another 2 units of Inceptors now, so Jumpy Dudes. So they're different units again. These are number 3, and these are number 6, I think. Number 6. Yep. I've got my Storm Raven still. These all transferred up now, you can see. Some of the transfers, I don't know what they're for, but I've given them random ones because they look cool. I've got my Pulse Executioner now, bought that off Jack. When I've got my tanks I had before, my Predator with Trias Predator, my Vindicator, they're potentially much better now. They get an invuln save or plus to their armor save because of the shovel at the front. So that's the Green Wing. They've expanded quite a lot. So like the Assault Intercessor is obviously new. Got more Inceptors, the tank, a lot more characters from before. Don't think the Aggressors were in the last video either. So a big sort of Green Wing element there. I was definitely tempted again do a battle using mainly this as well. Could be quite interesting. They're sort of a solid force, mainly shooty, but you got some good assault stuff with the Incest. I've used them in a battle before against Sisters and they were brutal. Then my Deathwing, they're the smallest attachment I've got. And I've got all Northlight characters for them. I've got Honored Brother, his brother Zakael. He's the Interrogator Chaplain you've seen a lot. My Primaris Librarian I finally painted up, but I'm in Deathwing colours because apparently they've got a Deathwing keyword now. Master with the shield. I think this is actually the old Belial model. I need to find out what it is. I got him when I got some of the other Dark Angels, but I sort of found him in a box again. I thought, well, he was already painted. I literally had to just touch him up and stick him on a base, so he was easy. Got the Blade Guard Ancient and the Lieutenant with the shield. I got my 3 Blade Guard, Deathwing Terminators, and my Deathwing Knights, and that's my Deathwing detachment. You couldn't really run that as a individual one; it'd be very expensive. I need to get some more Terminators for them, really. And then last of all is my Raven Wing, and I've actually got the Chapter Master of the Raven Wing. I got Samael. This was one of the worst models I've ever painted and ever built. Built mainly, it was one of the worst models I've ever built in my life. Bloody fine cast. Just freaking terrible. There's a reason it's called fail cast. It was awful model to put together. And it wasn't even that easy to paint because there were still bits of flashing I didn't find. But anyway, he's done, thankfully. I even found some transfers for words for his book as well, which is quite cool. Got my Chaplain on bike, my Private Chaplain on bike. Got him as a Christmas present, so he's been painted up quite quickly. Got 6 bikes, 2 plasma guns, and I mean they could be 2 units. I mean I've got 2 champions, I suppose, or 2 sergeants, I should say. Got an attack bike with multi-melter, 3 outriders, and I even bought some back banners for them as well, so they look more Dark Angels-y, which is quite cool. My 3 land speeders you've seen before. My Land Speeder Vengeance, which I'm definitely keeping as a Land Speeder Vengeance now. In 9th edition, it's much better. Its plasma gun is awesome, mainly because it doesn't blow up all the time. And I've now got a Dark Talon, which is definitely new from before, as well as my Nephilim Jet Fighter. That's my Raven Wing attachment. After I've done this video, I'm actually going to play a game of basically Raven Wing versus Sisters. Hopefully I've got time and the children don't wake up. So there it is. I'll try and pan out enough so you can see. I don't think I can you can see all of it, but there is 6,320 points of Dark Angels, give or take, different equipment you can take. So I'm just going to put the camera down a second, like that, and talk a little bit about what my plans are for this next. So I've got a few different things I'm considering what to do with my Dark Angels in terms of expanding. I'm not going to get more troopy stuff. I'm not going to get more Hellblasters or more Inceptors or more Eradicators. I'm not interested in doing that. I'm not a kind of gamey meta chaser. I like fluffy stuff. I like playing fluffy lists. So in terms of fluffy stuff, like I'll probably will get a Gladiator tank at some point. I think they're actually quite cool. And I'd like to get an Impulsor as well, mainly to transport my Blade Guard probably. Or like no, Aggressors can't go in an Impulsor, but yeah, I could do with I haven't really got dedicated transport anywhere in here apart from the Storm Raven that can't carry any Primaris, so I need some transport stuff. So Gladiator and Impulsor. Definitely want to get some of the Storm Speeders. Possibly get two. I don't want the one with all the Dakar. I want the ones with the melters and the missiles and the Lasdam and Pal and stuff. I want to definitely get some of those. I think they look quite cool. I really like those. And then more Deathwing. Definitely probably another unit of either Knights or another unit of Terminators or both. Want to expand them a bit more. And then my other plan is possibly to get some of the Forge World Heresy Dark Angels kits and almost make a separate wing of them. I'd probably create some kind of narrative around them, saying that they were during the fall of Caliban, they were blasted through the warp and they've reappeared now or something like that. But a plan would be to get the they're called the Companions and use them as veterans, and then get the Terminators and use them as knights. Possibly even get some of the standard Marine models. I don't know what they're called now, but definitely also want to get the I think they call him Captain or Master and Cataphracti armor and the other character models from there, and get the Dark Angels Leviathan Dread and the Dark Angels Contemptor Dread, because I really like both those on Forge World. They've got lots of they look very unique, so I'd want to get some of those. That's possibly my next area as well. Get like a fifth wing with just those things. And I'll probably get a drop pod really to transport some stuff, but that could be quite fun. I do also probably will end up buying the Lion, the Heresy Lion model, just because it looks awesome. But I am certain I'm not buying any more Dark Angels now until I see what the Codex is, the Codex supplement. I mean, I'm not, like I said, I'm not too much of a meta chaser, but I don't want to buy stuff that's absolutely rubbish, because it will be the Codex for a good 4 years probably. But yeah, I mean, alongside this, I've obviously got my 4 Assassins, I've got Inquisitors that can go with this list as well. And I would use Ethereal Stern with them too, because she's quite cool. But yeah, I think it's a pretty solid setup I can do here. I've got lots of choice. Got lots of shooting if I want it, but I could also go very combat heavy with my Terminators and my Deathwing and the Outriders. It'd be tempting to do a very... That's the kind of thing I wanted to do with this army, is I can create very fluffy lists if I want to. I can go Vanguard and have all this stuff that deploys all random places. I can have a very sort of solid sort of Green Wing army. I could go Deathwing, I could go Raven Wing, but I could also mix it up a bit. I could go very combat heavy and have my Assault Intercessors as my troops, and then Deathwing, and then Outriders, and then the Reavers could be dropping in as well. I could go very very combat heavy, or I could go very and go very mobile with my Raven Wing. They're so fast. With the way they can get around, which is like I say, the battle I'm going to be doing in a moment, which is almost entirely Raven Wing. I mean, I won't say too much about that battle now, but yeah, you can create, and that's what I'm looking for really, is creating fluffy lists that could be quite sort of interesting as opposed to, and I could also potentially, there's definitely some meta in this army if I wanted to. I mean, Deathwing are awesome now with basically permanent transhuman on them. And Ravenwing are the stuff that's actually got the Jink keyword, and it'll be interesting to see in the codex whether all Ravenwing gets Jink and whether all Deathwing gets Inner Circle. At the moment, the only ones that benefit from that transhuman would be both Terminator squads and the Interrogator Chaplain. Those are the only ones, and Belial, if that is Belial. They're the only ones that have actually got that Inner Circle keyword, and therefore can only be wounded on 4, 5, or 6. And same with the Raven Wing. The only ones that have got that Jink keyword at the moment in this army are, I think it's literally just Samael's got it, but whether he's got 4+ in run anyway. The Landspeed of Vengeance and these two flyers have got it. No one else has actually got the Jink keyword. It's very much the kind of Ravenwing specific stuff. So Ravenwing Black Knights have got it. The Ravenwing Champions got it. The Ravenwing Apothecary's got it. I don't even think this guy's got it. Although he'd be relevant for him anyway, because he's got a 4+ in run anyway, because he's a chaplain. But like the bikes here don't have the Jink keyword. They don't have the Jink keyword. They don't have the Jink keyword. So they're not really benefiting from that. They're benefiting from the Ravenwing keyword because he can benefit Ravenwing units. And you can get Ravenwing Warlord traits, but really interesting to see in the Codex release whether they whether they change that and give all Ravenwing Jink, all Deathwing in a circle. I mean, there's plenty of Ravenwing units that would have inner circle. Samiel should have inner circle. A Chaplain should have inner circle. So it'll be interesting to see. Anyway, I'll leave it there because I've rambled on for 15 minutes now. But there it is. There is 6,000 points of Dark Angels. And I'll keep you updated as to progress on my sisters and other new projects coming up as well. Thanks a lot for watching, and see you next time.